We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, today we will discuss about the identifying cations, their techniques and observations. So first we will see about that how to perform the qualitative analysis of cation. So it can be done as we can see over here. It can be done with a unknown salt, primarily dissolve a small amount that is taken in the test tube and dissolve in an deionized water. Separate the resulting solution into equal sodium hydroxide anion and ammonia aqueous respectively. So these are the two reagents, and how that unknown reagent is there with a very small quantity is also illustrated in the spatula. How much amount is there has to be taken, that is this much amount, and these are the two reagents NaOH and ammonia, which is widely used for the qualitative analysis of cations. So first that pour unknown salt solution into a test tube and until the height of about 1 centimeter is obtained, that is 1 centimeter cube, and add 3 drops of NaOH solution and shake the mixture. Record the observation and precipitate color precipitation form. If there is precipitation, then access NaOH solution, aqueous solution to about half of the test tube full has to be added and shake the mixture. Now here the what kind of measures that the students or the analyst has to take about that the height of about 1 centimeter and that half test tube in excess amount. So these are the two important criteria, and the majority of students are struggle to about how to use the excess amount, and that is very crucial for recording the proper observation. So for recording purpose is the precipitate soluble in excess NaOH, and that is also mandatory, and if so then repeat the analysis using the aqueous ammonia solution. So here are some crucial observations that has to be taken during the practical or any kind of analysis. So here if the aluminum ion is there, then the white precipitate will be observed, and here the quantity the solution taken, and that is height of about 1 centimeter, and that is very crucial for adequate observation that I have already mentioned. And if we add the excess amount of that NaOH, then the precipitate will get solubilized in colorless solution. That how it will look like in the third test tube in the aluminum anion analysis is taken place. If we repeat the analysis these steps with the aqueous ammonia, then white precipitate observed, and how the white precipitate differentiated from that NaOH precipitate comparing to that the ammoniacal precipitates are more intense in white color compared to that NaOH precipitate. And here these precipitates are insoluble, as we can see in the forced test tube in aluminum ion Al+3 ion detection in excess of ammonia solution. This is the major difference between the NaOH identification and ammoniacal identification in that in the first case, the in excess amount of NaOH it will get solubilized. In the second case, the excess amount cannot alter the property of that precipitate obtained from the ammoniacal solution. Now second is for the lead, and here the same case as the previous one as the NaOH and the sodium and the ammonia for the is also for the same case insoluble. But for the zinc, on contrary, these precipitates will dissolve if we add the excess amount of ammonia after getting the white precipitate. And how the precipitates are also obtaining very negligible amount for the zinc, and the that is the important observation, very crucial observation that has to be made by the student. And how the white precipitate look like in intensity wise means very dark white precipitate or faint white precipitate, that also has to be noted. For the calcium ion, on the contrast or on the other side, there is no precipitation if we add the ammonia solution. If we add the ammonia solution, that is the calcium ion identification. For the copper ion, as it is colored solution, so we can easily say that if we add that some kind of like NaOH and ammonia, these are the taste. For the ferrous ion Fe+2, the green dirty precipitates are obtained by adding the ammonia, and for the ferric ion, that is Fe+3, that is also over here. And here one note has to be considered that on standing in air, oxygen, the dirty green precipitate of FeOH2, that is ferrous hydroxide, turns reddish brown due to the oxidation of Fe+2 ion. Color of the solution containing the Fe+3 ion may range from colorless to pale yellow depending on concentration of Fe+3, and that is the most important observation that has to student or any analyst has to made on this, because on standing the ferrous ion get converted into ferric ion and will change in color. Using sodium hydroxide solution, NaOH aqueous solution. So this is a one flow chart that how we can obtain the conclusion or deduction about the different ions present in the solution. And if you cannot decide whether the precipitate is soluble in excess reagent or not, pour away some of the precipitate, leaving just a little bit at the bottom of the test tube before adding more reagent to about half the test tube. Hold the test tube against the light. If you can see particles of the precipitate is not soluble in excess reagent. So this is the most important note that the student has to consider while adding the any kind of excess reagent inside the test tube. If you cannot identify that whether it is soluble or insoluble, then pour away some of the precipitate, leaving just a little bit at the bottom of the test tube. And that is the ideal practice has to be followed before adding more reagent to about half the test tube. If the student is trying, like here and for the zinc, in the it is very little precipitate is obtained, and whether you cannot say that precipitate is obtained or not. So for that, it is also has to consider this part that the students struggle with that excess reagent, then pour away the some of the reagent, some of the precipitate, leaving just a little bit at the bottom of the test tube. So this is the review part. The precipitate in each of the agents with sodium hydroxide and ammonia is the insoluble hydroxide of the metal ion. Like these are the reactions, common reactions. Some of the precipitates dissolve in excess NaOH ammonia solution due to the formation of compounds that are soluble in water. Complexes are formed. Lead ions can be distinguished from the aluminum ion by adding hydrochloric acid HCl to an unknown solution. And if ammonium ion, that is NH4 plus ion, is present in the unknown, addition of NaOH followed by warming, it will produce the gas that is ammonia. And when a gas is evolved, looking for the following any inference observed or not. This is ideal practice for that order. Is for aluminum ion. So what are the things that has to be noted down? First, remember to weight litmus paper before use. Can you recall a reason? A moist litmus paper allows the gas to dissolve in water, forming H plus and OH minus ions. Observe how warming is done. Remove test tube from Bunsen burner flame periodically to prevent the contents from spotting. These are the references for the further review or the any kind of information. Thank you. This is the end of the lecture.